I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-minute convos where I help you create a brand of your own unique, real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good day, Florian Hornig. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful day?
I am wonderful. I'm sitting in the middle of a blizzard in the Swiss mountains and I'm enjoying the white view.
Wow. Well, you did say on your last podcast that the weather doesn't necessarily affect you. It's your perception of it, isn't it?
Well, sometimes it does, but I figured out it's all in your mind. So It's not about the weather, it's what you make out of it.
Yeah. Well, that being said, Florian, tell me, please, which of your talents, I think I may have let the cat out of the bag, but tell me which of your talents is responsible for us connecting?
Well, I guess, I don't know if it's a talent, but I guess it's my ability to speak and to broadcast this every week in my podcast.
Yeah, most definitely. The podcast I got to listen to, that was amazing. Please tell us the name of it.
Well, it's the name and the theme is the same. It's Simplicity of Happiness.
Yeah, super great stuff right there, Florian. I almost spoiled my headsets listening to your podcast because I almost went to the bathroom while listening to it, right? So I'm listening to it. I think I was cleaning the bathroom and then I said, okay, let me go take a shower. And then it was so good. I remembered, oh, right, I have headsets in. Of course, it was Bluetooth headset, so I'm moving around, right?
Yeah, perfect. I never pictured anybody taking a shower while listening to my podcast, but that's good to know.
Yeah, definitely not that type of podcast, folks, that you need to shower, but most definitely it was captivating to the point that, I almost walked into his voice is just cool and calm. So where did you get the inspiration for doing what you're doing via your podcast?
Well, there has been a time in my life when I thought I need to have more of almost everything to become happier in my life. And that made myself even more miserable. And then at one point I thought, well, now I screwed up completely. So I can do whatever I like now. And that's when I started to focus on what matters most in my life. And I found out that very often it's about simplifying. And many people around me, many friends, many colleagues, they got aware of this and they were wondering why I'm getting rid of so much stuff. And I said, well, it's because of the simplicity of happiness. And I started writing about this and I started talking about this. I was guest in some podcasts and I thought, well, I would like to do that myself. And that's how I started not only writing, but talking about it.
Wow, that's intriguing. That is intriguing. Wow. So you've been doing this for a bit. Why will you continue?
Because I see I'm earning most of my money as a coach, a personal development coach. And I call myself the Happy Life Coach. Because I see that so many people are struggling in daily life, although they have everything they need to live a fulfilled life. And I think I can reach many more people if I keep talking and keep writing about this for free so that people get some inspiration and that they discover that their happiness lies inside themselves.
Well, you definitely reached a young man in Trinidad, so keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
That's good to know. Great.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, my friend, please do tell us where we can connect with you. Where's the best place for people to reach out, listen to the podcast?
Well, it's the easiest thing is to go to simplicityofhappiness.com, and there you have a big green button on the right side. If you press that, you can either write me a message or record one, and from there, social media is connected. So if you just remember Simplicity of Happiness, you should find everything you need.
Wonderful. Well, do tell us one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
I kept asking myself, who the person is I really want to be. And I did not only ask who that person is, but more, how do I get there? And I kept working on this. So I was, living my dreams.
That's intriguing. Now, while listening to the podcast, I heard you speak of the Sahara Desert and you spending some time there. Is that something that you have done for other people, or was that something you were a part of?
Both. When I was too frustrated with myself, and I thought that I finally need to do something just for myself, or just focusing on what I really want. I found out that I always wanted to be an adventurer, like these Indian and cowboy stories of my youth, and so I wanted to go out and do something really adventurous. And I came up with walking alone in Sahara for 4 weeks, trying to find the water, carrying all my own stuff. And in that tour, I did not only experience the desert, but I found myself. And this is where I started my adventure seminars. So now I'm going to the Sahara once a year together with paying guests, clients, and we do coaching, talking, hypnosis, and walking in the desert for an entire week.
How intriguing is that? How does that make you feel?
My first idea was to say special, but on the other hand, not special at all. So I feel special because I have something to share, and I have something to show to other people. But on the other hand, it just makes me feel totally normal and interconnected with all the other human beings, because if you walk in the desert with no bathroom, no shower, cooking in the fire, sleeping under the open star, it just makes you normal like everybody else, and you feel that somehow we are all the same human being.
Why would you suggest to someone listening out there that they do what you've done, Florian, by reassessing where you are and then taking the steps necessary to get to where you want to be?
I thought that, when I was younger, I thought that I just have to push enough to become successful and famous and rich and beloved by everybody else. And I was working in the international finance industry, and I saw a lot of people who went with a lot of pressure in their own life. And when I ditched all of this and I focused only on what I really want, I found out that I am much more successful in what I'm doing, and I'm happy with what I'm doing, because it comes with an ease. So if I see other people who are struggling, I suggest that they go with more ease, that they find out what they are thriving for, because it will become easier and it will make them more successful in the end.
Amazing audience, we are live with Florian Hornig, and again, he is the podcast host of Simplicity of Happiness. Check him out. Well, Florian, let's switch gears for a moment now and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Florian, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I'm quite sure that we have everything stored in the unconscious mind that we ever experienced. So I am not quite sure what that is, because it's unconscious. The earliest thing that I actually do remember is waking up in the middle of the night and going to my parents' room, and they were not there, and there was my babysitter sleeping.
How old do you think you were?
I was pretty much exactly 3 years old, because that was the night that my brother was born.
Wow. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I could come up with anything, but I have no idea.
You could come up with anything, but you have no idea.
No.
But can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind?
Yeah.
I love the idea that what you expressed with the understanding of what occurred in the Sahara Desert, where the people that took care of you or who were there for you were what could be called, if you would, who could be called strangers. It's intriguing from a tender age that the people who you looked to take care of you, as much as you thought they would be there, that they were definitely there in the scene, but that a stranger, if you would, your babysitter, not your family, not your bloodline, if you would, not the parents, would be there to bring impact to your life.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but that's kind of interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Cypress Hill, Inside the Brain.
Well, that definitely connects. Listen to the podcast, folks. You connect the dots. Inside the brain. Wow. All right, my friend, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no, possibly a bit more. Going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Florian?
Yes.
Florian, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes, I have.
Are you married?
Not anymore.
Do you have children?
Yes.
How many?
One boy.
Do you believe in God?
Yes and no.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Not at all.
Wow. What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
I try to go for under 8 hours, but since I'm working in front of the screen very often, it's more than 8.
Okay. Florian, after 1,001 conversations in 3 months in 2016, I came up with this workbook. The idea, well, the name of it first is yours. It stands for your own unique real self. The idea being you answer self-reflective questions that hopefully help you connect to your mission, which I like to call your own unique real statement. If you, Florian, had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents Florian Hornig, what would you say that is?
Find out what you really want to do and do it.
Love it. Florian, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Yes, I want to reassure my last sentence. Find out what really matters in your life and do it.
Florian Hornig, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.